We are family, whether you admit it or not. Oh, I don't know why I thought of that song, but then as I said it, it reminded me that when we were kids, I mean, there were 5 kids in my family. These days, that'd be like, oh my God, 5 kids. Back then, it was like average. Anyway, in fact, the ones that were odd was like the only child. But like I said about the we are family thing, one of the things I remember is like when we were little, there was that typical sibling thing where it'd be like, well, you were adopted. No, I wasn't. Yeah, you were adopted. Mom, I wasn't adopted, was I? And then when we got older, the argument began. We got to see our family, especially a lot of the crazy aunts and stuff. The argument became, no, 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 I was adopted. You people belong to this group, not me. I was left on the doorstep somewhere. But anyway, that's got nothing to do with anything. So if you watch these when they first come out, and why wouldn't you? I mean, I imagine you'll first thing you do when you get up in the morning, it's like, oh, let's go see what he had to say. Um, but like I say, if you watch it when it first comes out, it's Monday where you are. But through the magic of the gears and spinning wheels and pulleys, and that's 3 things that are pretty much the same, except that the gears have teeth on them. Anyway, of the internet, where I am, it's Sunday. So, I know what you all would think. What's for Sunday dinner? Well, I'll tell you. Well, and just, it's a little after 5, just so you know what time I'm eating Sunday dinner. Anyway, the other day I got some hamburger out of the freezer in preparation for today, making some pasta. I don't want to say spaghetti because I believe it was rigatoni's that I have sitting there. Um, and anytime I make spaghetti or something, it's a pretty simple process, really. I'll brown up some hamburger. If I have peppers or onions, I'll chop some of them in there and brown it up, with the hamburger. And after the hamburger is cooked, and if I've added, peppers and that, after they get soft, then I'll dump some Prego or Del Grosso's or Ragu. Trying to think, is there another one that I'll get sometime? But basically, pre-made spaghetti sauce. I just don't get the generic types, or like, even though they have a name on them, like Food Club, you know, any of those, they're basically generic too. It's just somebody bought them and put a label on them. And while we're on the subject, I think there might be some stuff where generic is okay, but basically what the generic is. It's like, let's say with spaghetti sauce, the generic will be made by the same company that makes the higher price stuff, but it's not really the same product. Like say, let's say Progresso. You know, they get their tomatoes and stuff, and they do their sauce. Well, when they're getting towards the end of the batch, and maybe it's not as thick, or the tomatoes weren't as a high quality or whatever, something along those lines. That's when they make the other stuff, and it either goes out as a generic or you know stores like Bilo or whoever, are they still around? But they buy it and slap that label on there of Sam's Club spaghetti sauce or Food Club or whatever. So anyway, things like that, I don't buy the generic. So what was I saying? Okay, so I brown my hamburger and stuff, and then I dump the sauce in there and let it all heat together. Meanwhile, I'll put my pasta on to boil, and then just mix it together and throw some Parmesan on there, which, and of course, I just get the Kraft stuff in the jar. I used to like to get you could get a brick of Parmesan and then grate it, but it doesn't seem like it's worth it. And it seemed like to me, if you didn't use it right away, it starts to get mold on the edge. So I just get the jar, and I like a lot of times if I see it, I like to get it'll be Parmesan and Romano, and I don't know why, because it pretty much tastes the same, I think. But anyway, that's it for my spaghetti or whatever pasta I'm making. You know what I haven't had for a long time? I'm not sure what if there's a fancy Italian name for them, probably is. But the pasta that looked like little wagon wheels. Used to have them as a kid, and I haven't had those. I have like rigatoni and spaghetti and what am I missing? Well, of course, macaroni. But I basically make them all the same. But it's weird how the different shapes of pasta taste different. But anyway, so that was my plan for today. And then I went out there a little while ago and thought, well, I guess haven't eaten anything today. I should brown up that hamburger. And I looked in the refrigerator and I went, sounds like a lot of work. So instead, I'm having a couple of egg sandwiches. Let's see if I can. Well, look, if you let me do this. The egg looks weird, but that's because there's brown mustard on it. That's what I put on my bread today. Now I have an egg sandwich. I like either brown mustard or sometimes ketchup. On the other hand, if I have scrambled eggs, I have ketchup. Mustard seems okay, but I don't know, for some reason it's always ketchup with scrambled eggs. If I have poached eggs, I throw them out because I can't even, I've never tasted them. They probably taste great. I remember my father used to like them, but to me it always just sort of looks like a bunch of snot floating on boiling water. I've never had soft boiled eggs, but I don't think they would bother me because I like what we in Pennsylvania, or at least central Pennsylvania, correctly call dippy eggs. And some of you heathens out in other parts of the world call sunny side up. I like them. So I don't know why the soft yolk in a boiled egg would bother me, but I've just never had it. I like hard boiled eggs. I like egg salad. Boy, this isn't going anywhere where I thought it was going today, but I'm going to stick with this because if I change subjects now, this is going to be a long video. Anyway, egg salad. Now my egg salad, and of course, anything like this, you can't do recipes because a lot of it has to do with the mood you're in or what you happen to have around. But for me, egg salad, of course, hard-boiled egg, uh, some onion chopped up, some celery if I have it, which I rarely do because there's times when I'll make something and I think, oh, a little celery would be good. But I'm afraid of buying celery because you got to buy, the whole stalk. Stalk is just one, right? But the whole thing is celery. And then I'll use like one thing of it chopped up, and then it sits in the refrigerator and I forget about it and it goes bad. Even though celery is something I I used to all the time. You'd have it and you'd just grab some and eat it, or maybe put some peanut butter on. But it just seems like anymore I'll stick stuff like that on the shelf and then it just sits there until it gets all brown and icky. Anyway, so onions, celery. Now I don't put like peppers in my egg salad. Of course, you put like some black pepper in there. Um, well, it seems like there's something else missing. Another thing like the. Now I don't put pickles or relish in, but I do that in deviled eggs, which been a while since I had deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. My mother made great deviled eggs. Um, and then to mix it, I usually just like with my potato salad and that and macaroni salad. The main thing that I use to combine it all is Miracle Whip, which a lot of people say salad dressing. We grew up calling it mayonnaise, but Miracle Whip, and then a lot of times I'll put just a little bit of Hellman's in there to give it a little other, a little bit of tang, I guess. Which, by the way, I remember when I was a kid, and there was the commercials. I think Andy Griffith, for a few years, he advertised Miracle Whip, and the catchphrase used to be the tangy zip of Miracle Whip. Now, I'm sorry, and I'll put this out there just for the white people because I know the black people agree with me. But I want to know if there's anybody out there who thinks Miracle Whip has any kind of zip to it. Yeah, I mean, if you think Miracle Whip is a tangy zip, oh my God, don't ever taste my chili. Um, so anyway, where was I? Yeah, but yeah, I love like egg salad. And if I have no other ingredients, if I'm in the mood, I'll make egg salad, just the egg and mayonnaise. Uh, like I mentioned, deviled eggs too. Those are just like way too much work for me to make them just for myself. Um, but if anybody is ever wandering by and they happen to have a tray full of them, you don't even have to talk to me if you don't like me. Just come in and leave them sitting on my kitchen table. Oh, one thing with the deviled eggs, just because it's what my mother always did, you have to, after you make the eggs, you put the stuff inside, and you got to sprinkle some paprika across the top. I'm pretty sure it's a law, you know, in Europe. Anyway, so that's today's excitement. Our letter today is E. E is for egg. And the funny thing is, when I first came in here and I was going to say I'm having an egg salad sandwich and I was going to go into Sunday dinners when I was growing up. But not now. We're already at 15 minutes. So For those of you that work and today is Monday, I'm sorry. All I can say is, uh, for the rest of us, it's always fun sleeping and taking naps during the day. And anything else we need to talk about today? Um, Next Monday is the Emmys, so that'll give us something to talk about on next Tuesday. Ooh, I don't know. Could be tough watching the Emmys and then getting a report in time to load it up. What the hell am I talking about? Anyway, folks, peace out.